When a man who is already in a relationship seeks you out, the first instinct might be to ask, what does he see in me? You might be flattered. You might believe there's something about you that's so irresistible, so different, so extraordinary, that it compelled him to cross a line. But here's the truth that most people don't want to confront. It's not about you. It's about him. He's not choosing you for who you are. He's choosing the emotional function you serve in his life at that moment. Maybe it's comfort. Maybe it's passion. Maybe it's just distraction. But in most cases, what he wants isn't you. It's what you represent. You become the fantasy, the escape hatch from the life he feels trapped in. You become the freedom he doesn't have the courage to create for himself. Now let's break this down psychologically. When someone seeks an affair, they often rationalize it through dissatisfaction. My wife doesn't understand me, or my girlfriend and I don't connect anymore. But this justification isn't new. It's not deep. It's a common script, one that shifts blame to the partner, rather than confronting personal emotional immaturity, conflict avoidance, or a deeper hunger for validation. What he may really be seeking is himself, in the arms of someone who doesn't know yet how flawed or unsure he truly is. We live in a world where people are hungry for attention and terrified of true intimacy. A man in a relationship who seeks another woman is often searching for a version of himself that he has lost. And rather than doing the hard work of evolving within his relationship or ending it with honesty, he's outsourcing his growth to someone new. That someone becomes the emotional mule, carrying the burden of his dissatisfaction. Think about this. If he's telling you he's never felt this alive before, that's not a reflection of you. It's a reflection of the contrast between the routine of his current life and the novelty you represent. Novelty feels like truth, but it's not. It's a high. And like any high, it fades when reality sets in. And when it does, what's left is not deep connection, it's confusion, guilt, and often regret. So don't mistake being the object of someone's escape for being the object of their love. He's not escaping to you, he's escaping from himself, from responsibility, from discomfort, from the mirror his real relationship is holding up to him. You're not the destination, you're the detour. And here's where it becomes a philosophical question of self-worth. What does it say about your value when the only way someone chooses you is by betraying another? Are you comfortable being someone's secret, their convenience, their distraction? Or do you want to be someone's truth? Because real connection is not born in shadows. It doesn't survive off lies. And it certainly doesn't grow in soil tainted by betrayal. If he's not facing his reality head-on, if he's not ending what's broken before starting something new, then what he's building with you is already cracked. So before you ask, why me? Ask, why now? What does this man really want from me? Is it partnership? Is it commitment? Or is it just oxygen in a life where he's suffocating but too afraid to leave? Don't confuse being pursued with being valued. Sometimes being pursued is just evidence of someone else's emotional chaos spilling into your life. And you get to choose whether to absorb that or walk away from it. Because if he's not willing to change his life for you, then he never truly wanted you. He only wanted to borrow you for a while. Let that sink in and act accordingly. Let's talk about the difference between desire and devotion, because that's where the entire illusion begins to shatter. When a man in a committed relationship seeks someone outside of it, it's easy to confuse the intensity of his attention with depth of emotion. He might text you every morning. He might say he can't stop thinking about you. He might even cry and say things feel more real with you than with anyone else. But here's what you have to understand. Intensity is not intimacy. Passion is not proof. A man can be fully engaged in the pursuit and still be completely disengaged from the consequences of what he's doing. This kind of man often wants the thrill, the electric charge of something new, risky, forbidden. But he doesn't want the accountability that a real relationship demands. Think about what's required in a true partnership: consistency, transparency, emotional honesty, shared struggle, long-term vision. Now compare that to what he's offering you: secrets, short-term highs, temporary escapes. If he's hiding you from someone else, don't mistake that as protection. It's a sign you're not part of his real life. You're part of his parallel world, one that doesn't threaten the stability of his primary life, because in his mind, he gets to have both. This isn't just about relationships. It's about character. It's about emotional maturity. If a man can't manage the emotional consequences of his actions, if he can't end one chapter before starting another, what does that reveal? That he's using others, you, her, maybe even himself, to avoid doing the uncomfortable but necessary inner work. He wants the benefits of emotional connection without the risks of real vulnerability. He wants to feel desired but not be exposed. He wants love without responsibility. Now, some will say, but he says he's not happy in his relationship. He says he feels trapped. Listen, we all feel trapped at times. But a man with integrity doesn't cheat his way out. He confronts his dissatisfaction. He doesn't run from it into the arms of someone new while leaving the back door open. And if he says he's afraid of hurting her, what he really means is he's afraid of the discomfort that honesty requires. Because honesty will hurt. Growth always comes with pain. But avoiding it, postponing it, just spreads the damage to more people. So if you're in a situation where a man is giving you attention, affection, even love, but not commitment, ask yourself, what is he actually offering? Is it real or is it reactive? Is it a relationship or is it just a refuge? Is he stepping forward into something with you, or is he just trying not to drown in the life he's unwilling to change? You deserve more than to be someone's emotional adrenaline rush. You deserve to be chosen in the light, not hidden in the dark. You deserve a man who is free, not just legally, but emotionally and spiritually. To build something solid with you. You deserve to be loved, to be sustained and somehow belonging, to be championed told in no time, to be seen and not just legally but emotionally and spiritually, to build something solid with you, to be seen and not just legally but emotionally. And if he can't offer that, then his attention is not a gift, it's a red flag. Don't confuse his desire for a thrill with his ability to love you. And don't accept being a chapter in someone else's story when you were meant to write your own. Because at the end of the day, if he only wants you in secret, then he doesn't want you. He wants escape. And that's not love. That's self-deception. Choose truth. Choose clarity. Choose to be someone's priority, not their loophole. Let's get to the heart of something most people overlook. Something that matters far more than words, promises, or feelings. If a man seeks you while he's still in a relationship with someone else, what you're actually witnessing is a real-time display of his integrity, or lack thereof. It's easy to focus on what he says to you, the flattery, the confessions, the late-night messages about how confused he is, or how alive you make him feel. But don't just listen to his words. Watch his behavior. That's where the truth lives. Here's what's uncomfortable but essential to understand. How he treats her is a mirror of how he will one day treat you. You're not the exception to his character. You're simply the next person exposed to it. You are seeing his ethical operating system in action. You are seeing how he manages conflict, how he handles discontent, how he navigates desire. And if his answer is to betray one person in order to pursue another, then you have to ask yourself, what happens when the novelty of you fades? What happens when your relationship hits a rough patch? If his pattern is avoidance through seduction, guess what happens next? Now I know. There's always a justification. He says she's cold, distant, disconnected. He says they haven't been intimate in months. He paints himself as the victim of a dead relationship. And maybe there's truth to that. But even if there is, it doesn't excuse the dishonesty. You don't heal a broken dynamic by creating another one in the shadows. You don't build love on the foundation of betrayal. That's not reinvention. That's erosion. And eventually, what erodes others will erode you too. We live in a culture that romanticizes cheating, movies, music, stories, where the forbidden love seems more real than the committed one. But let's be real. Infidelity isn't about romance. It's about decisions. It's about values. And more often than not, it's about the inability to face discomfort and have hard conversations. If a man truly felt stuck, truly felt broken inside his relationship, the first act of integrity would be to confront that, to either work through it or walk away. But if his instinct is to quietly build a bridge to someone else before he's even left the shore, that's not courage. That's cowardice, dressed in charm. And let's turn the mirror inward now. What does your involvement in this situation say about your standards? Are you allowing yourself to become a co-author in someone else's dishonesty? Are you making excuses for behavior that, if reversed, you would find unacceptable? Because the hard truth is this. When you participate in someone else's deception, even unintentionally, it does shape how you feel about yourself. You start to wonder if you can ever fully trust him. You start to question your worth. Deep down, you feel the unease of being chosen in secret, and that unease is your intuition trying to wake you up. Character is revealed, not when it's easy to do the right thing, but when it's hard. If he lies to her now, it's not a leap to imagine he'll lie to you later, not because he's a monster, but because he's made lying a tool for emotional convenience. And unless he changes, unless he does real inner work, he'll use that same tool again. So if you're in a situation where a man is telling you sweet things in the dark while living another life in the light, pause and ask yourself, am I watching his integrity collapse in real time? And if so, am I willing to be the next casualty of that collapse? You're not just watching how he treats others. You're witnessing how he'll eventually treat you. Choose not to be a reflection of his dishonesty. Choose to be a standard he can't reach unless he rises. One of the hardest truths to accept, and yet one of the most liberating, is this: if he can't leave her for you, then he never truly chose you. It doesn't matter what he says. It doesn't matter how intense the chemistry feels, how many promises he whispers, or how deeply connected you believe the two of you are. What matters is action. What matters is movement. What matters is whether he is willing to make space in his life, real, open space, to truly include you. Because let's be honest, love isn't proven in what someone feels, it's proven in what someone does. And if he's still in a committed relationship, still going home to someone else, still keeping you on the margins of his world, then what he's offering isn't love. It's an emotional compromise. It's a placeholder fantasy. It's a situation that serves his needs, but not your future. And if you're waiting for him to leave her, ask yourself, how long have you been waiting? And how many versions of soon have you been fed? A man who is truly ready to choose you will act in alignment with that decision. He will not need endless justifications, dramatic delays, or vague timelines. He won't keep you in limbo, because a man with clarity doesn't juggle hearts. He makes hard decisions and owns them. If he's telling you that he wants to be with you, but it's complicated, that's code for he doesn't want to be uncomfortable. He wants the benefits of both relationships without the responsibility of either. He wants to stretch time, delay pain, and protect his image, all while keeping you emotionally invested in a future that keeps shifting further away. Now, let's look at this through a philosophical lens. At its core, this is a question of agency. Does he have the courage to step fully into the life he claims to want? Or is he passively hoping that time or circumstance or someone else's decision will create the outcome for him? People who live with integrity take ownership of their lives. They don't sit in the middle of two realities, hoping no one notices. They confront the mess. They do the work. And most importantly, they stop expecting others, including you, to wait while they make up their minds. And here's what's crucial to realize. If he's not willing to fight for you now, what makes you believe he will show up for you later? The foundation of a relationship isn't just chemistry or connection, it's choice. Repeated, conscious, consistent choice. Without that, you're not being loved, you're being kept. So many people end up stuck in emotional purgatory, hoping, sacrificing, justifying, all in the name of potential. But potential without action is a trap. It seduces you with what could be, while starving you of what is. And your life, your self-worth, is too valuable to be wasted on someone who keeps you on hold. If he won't leave the relationship he claims is broken, then what he's really saying is, I don't want to lose what I have, but I also don't want to let you go. And that's not a decision. That's indecision. 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 That's not love. That's fear. So don't sit there waiting to be fully chosen. If you're not being claimed in the light, then you're being tolerated in the shadow. And that is not where love thrives. If he can't stand with you publicly, commit to you fully, and release what no longer serves him, honestly, then don't call that love. Call it what it is: emotional convenience. You deserve to be chosen without hesitation, not negotiated, like a compromise, like a vexer, like a pontification. You deserve to be chosen without hesitation, not negotiated, like a compromise. Let that be your standard, and let anyone who can't meet it pass you by.